Alright guys, so I'm going to be talking about the state of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Now, the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise has been through its fair share of ups and downs, mostly downs, and we'll talk about that later. Hey, let me turn this down on the TV. Come on, there we go. So, how has the Sonic franchise, how's the state of the Sonic franchise right now? I truly believe that it's not in its bestest state. It's not in its best state. You see, I think it could be better because some major problems that happened over 10 years ago. Yes, it's insane, I know. But this is what we're dealing with here. So let's rewind it back. Straight to the good old 90s. We got the classic games, and then we got the 3D classic games, the Dreamcast games, and then we got the Dark Age games, the modern games, the boom games, and the Renaissance games. So here we go. So, in the classic games, you had a fair share and a lot of quality quality video games throughout the years, you know. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 was a huge success. It was able to rival Mario, which is more than we could say for him right now. And tons of people love that game, especially Sonic 2. Sonic 2 is most people's favorite games nowadays because they play it as a kid, sharing the Genesis. Whew. It's Sonic 3, kind of heavy. It's still good, you know. You need 2 games to experience the whole game, but you know, it's still pretty good. Then we get to the 3D. Now, the jump to 3D is where most franchises screwed up. Is they didn't know how to handle themselves the moment they got to 3D. Take Mega Man X7 for example. That game was boring as hell. Boring. You wanna know why it was boring? Because nobody wanted to play it. It was boring, slow, and the voice acting was terrible. Now, if we take a look at Sonic, they made the transition smoothly until 06, but we'll get to that. So, Sonic Adventure had a nice voice acting, good gameplay. Some people are still begging for a remake of that game, and a good storyline. Especially I can't get these names right today. Especially Sonic Adventure 2. People love that game even more. Had a better story and super fun gameplay with multiple characters. I'll get back to that. And so, what did they do because of how popular Shadow the Hedgehog was getting? Well, the next best thing, give them a spin-off game. But instead of making it a good spin-off game, they basically just took a page out of Conker's Bad Fur Day and made it a bunch of Sonic characters cursing all the time. They made it edgy as crap, made Shadow hold a gun, drive a motorcycle, and kill people. Motorcycle, and kill people. And that's when the Dark Age began. Now, during the Dark Age, we did have some good games. Like, some people still consider Unleashed part of the Dark Age. We got Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure during the Dark Age. But here's why, the main reason they call it the Dark Age. Sonic 06. Now, some people say Sonic 06 is, how do I put this? The reason why Sonic still sucks. I disagree with that. Some people say we shouldn't judge the franchise based on 06 anymore because the game is too old. I also disagree with that. Because Sonic 06 screwed up the franchise so badly that we haven't been able to play as any other characters except for Sonic and maybe in Mania other characters for like over 10 years. Think about that for a second. We haven't been able to play as Omega, Rouge, Eggman, any of these guys. And we haven't been able to see Jet. Actually, the only reason we don't see Jet in the Babylon Rogues anymore is because Sonic Freerunners was a trash. So, there we go. We don't get to play as many other characters than Sonic nowadays. And that game, I guarantee you that game was supposed to be great. It was supposed to be like the Sonic Adventure 3 of that era. But the thing is, they didn't have a lot of time in that. So the game came out and they tried to make it realistic. So the game came out looking weird, bad models, and terrible gameplay because it was rushed the crap out. It's like trying to make a car, but you only put the tires and you didn't screw them back on. So, that's why we barely see any other characters than Sonic games nowadays playable. I'm not talking about spin-off games, I'm not talking about Sonic Mania, I'm talking about the modern games. And then we get the Sonic Generations. That was a great game, universally loved. We even got to see the return of classic Sonic. But it kind of becomes a problem later on. We'll get to that later too. So, then we get Sonic Colors. People love that too. I think Sonic Colors came out before Generations. We got the storybook games. They're not that bad, but they're not that good either. And then we got Sonic Lost Worlds, where the decline started to hit, and what led to, what I'd say, Sonic's lowest era. Now, they were trying to appeal to Mario fans. That's why it looked a lot like New Super Mario Bros., and I can understand that. So the game wasn't the best, but it was still somewhat good. Then we got the Sonic Boom. What were you doing? I mean, what were you doing? Why would you make this game so bad? You trying to get your franchise back on track and make it a game one of the worst games in the franchise? Like, legit, nobody played those games in the head. Not to mention, they were also awful games gameplay-wise. So, there we go. And then we had, and also during this time frame, we had Sonic Runners. The game that relied so heavily on your money, it makes Dragon Ball Legends look like Dokkan. But yeah, and there we go. And then because of all these factors leading up to Sega, they lost a butt ton of money. I mean, they're still trying to recover it to this day because of how much money they lost. Not even Mania could recover all the money they lost in that time because of how screwed up the games were. So, because of that, they had to make massive layoffs this year because of the pandemic. But you see Nintendo and other game companies still doing good in the midst of this pandemic. Now, where I think this problem is? Well, the next problem is we get Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces on anniversaries, and we still haven't got a new mainline Sonic game since the anniversary. But here's the problem. We barely get mainline Sonic games these days because they're too focused on anniversaries. At this point, there's nothing to celebrate. It's like a Steven Bomb back in Steven Universe. Those things are obnoxious because they only give you like 4 episodes every year, basically. And the same thing's happening with Sonic. It's every few years with a game. It's ridiculous. And they keep shoving classic Sonic everywhere, like how SML shoves Jeffy everywhere. I'm sorry, but classic Sonic, he was good in Sonic Generations, but in my opinion, I'd say that Sonic Mania, well, I'll let them slide on that because he was a very good game, but Sonic Forces, he was basically just there for nostalgia pandering. You wanna know why they keep advertising where they had a little animated short because it's classic Sonic? It's nostalgia pandering. Because they know all the old fans are gonna come back running through nostalgia pillows and bags of cash and buy the games. That's the problem. That's one of the big problems. And they have no faith in any of the other Sonic characters, besides spin-offs and racing games, even though other characters in racing games are basically the same with different abilities. Different slight abilities, not even noticeable. So we haven't gotten to play as any other different characters besides Sonic, and that other random character you made back in Sonic Forces. They have no faith in the modern Sonic franchise anymore. They keep relying on classic games and even the Sonic movie to sell stuff nowadays. So there's where the problem is. They have no faith in Sonic anymore. At least not the modern Sonic we're all used to. Instead, they just put it all in classic Sonic because that's what sells. And also, they need to really change up the writing because the writing in the 2010s for Sonic games was atrocious. I mean, it was terrible. It was just a stand-up comedy act that nobody laughed at. So, that's what I would say. That's what I would say were the problems with the Sonic franchise nowadays. Thank you for watching, and sorry for the late upload.